Alright guys, we're continuing the Dark Souls walkthrough, and this is New Game Plus Plus. The armor I'm using is the black iron armor, and I have the sun shield, magic, or enchanted falchion, however you say it. So anyways, we left off last time by the Duke's Archive bonfire. Already got killed at Seath once, because you have to. Now we're at the next point where you basically have to go through the Ice Caverns to reach Seath again. There's a couple little items out here. You don't even have to mess with these guys. They're really slow. You can just run past them. So once you're either done killing these guys and collecting that one item, you can proceed down to the ice caves, where you begin the next part of the journey. So down here, this part gets really tricky. There's a lot of hidden things down here and invisible platforms. If you look carefully, you can see where the platforms are, and also you picked up some prism stones inside the Duke's Archives. You can use those here to help you navigate past these invisible platforms. But there's also one other little trick you can look at to help you find the invisible platforms. So more than likely, if you're playing online, people will have already given you a hint by writing on the invisible platform, as you can see here. But if you're playing offline, it may be really confusing when you get to this point. But if you look at these little... Oh, here are the prism stones. You can drop those down anytime to kind of show where the platform is. And you can also see the little crystal snowflakes breaking off on the platform. It kind of lets you know where you gotta go. So anywhere where those are falling and you see them break, that means it's okay to walk here. Now down that way is the correct way to go. If you go off to the right, there's another little branching path, as you can see someone rode over here, and you'll see the crystals breaking on the platform. And once over here, there's like a super ice golem guy over here. He's guarding a soul, which you can choose to pick up. It's optional, or not. One important thing to note about this area right here on this bridge is you can slip down on that left side, so try to stay on the right side. You'll see in this fight how I ended up slipping down but killing him, so then you have to run all the way back. And right here, Homing Crystal Soul Mass is not your best friend, as you've seen me use it many times in all the other battles. It doesn't do much damage to him, because he is a crystal enemy. So use your fire, use your melee, and don't step on that right side. See, he fell down with me, he did the same thing. And you may have missed this on your way over there if you were in a hurry. There's a little secret area back here. Right at the beginning, whenever you're walking down the platforms, you can pick up this soul you might have seen. It's not a big secret or anything, just a little extra humanity to help you out. So once you run back here, you can pick up this blue Titanite chunk. This will help you upgrade your magic or enchanted weapon that you want to do, that you have to take to Rickard, I think is his name. He's in Norlondo Ruins. No, New Londo Ruins. He's down on like a little caged area. He's like in prison. But you can talk to him and he'll use the embers you'll find to upgrade that stuff. So once you start running back, just follow the same path. You can just run across. You don't have to use your prism stones. And once you've inevitably you're going to die here a few times. But once you get the hang of it, like the little path, you can just sprint through it. One thing I want to mention, whenever you're walking down that path you just saw, you kind of like slip and slide to the right side, so kind of angle your guy off to the left side. And right down here you have another invisible platform, but if you turn around, you'll see another path, which you might not think about. And if you're quick enough, there are 3 lizards down here, and a secret to getting all of them is whenever you die, they reset, and they're only gone once you get them. So you can keep doing that if you keep missing them, and it's a really quick run all the way back out here. It takes like a minute or two, and they drop some really good stuff, some blue Titanite chunks, which if you're looking to upgrade a magic weapon, then that's the route you really need to take. So also this platform area is a little trickier. If you do die, once you get back here, just follow this path that I'm taking, and you can try using your little prism stones to help highlight the way. As I said, it's a little trickier over here just because the path actually takes a little slant. But once you get all the way over here, you'll get the blue Titanite slab, and you only get one of these through each playthrough. So if you want to fully upgrade your magic weapon as high as it can get with an enchanted upgrade, then this is an item you have to get. Now once you get this, all you have to do is follow the same path back and run all the way through the tunnel, and it's a straight shot to Seath. Alright, so you may be wondering why I'm naked here. And it's actually because you run faster, and I wanted to kill as many of these things as I could in one run to get the chunks and twinkling titanite and all that stuff. So I just went ahead and took off my armor so I had full mobility. You can do the same thing, and then, as I said before, it's pretty much a straight shot all the way over to Seath. It's kind of hard to see whenever you're looking over here, like where you're gonna show up to, but you can see this little part like jutting out right there at the end. All of these clams in here are completely optional. They're really slow and they're kind of a pain to deal with. So you can just run past them. The only thing that, or the only reason you may not want to run past them the first time is because there's no fog whenever you run into Seath at the beginning. So the clams will actually follow you in here. That's not really good news, but there is some good news. Seath will actually kill them with some of his area effect attacks. And also, if you want to just quit out of the game, you can quit and these guys will all be outside the fog and you just have to re-enter the fog. So it kind of restarts the battle if you want to go that route. Also, you may have noticed that I've hit Seath a couple times and did no damage. Well, that's because you still have to go back and break this little crystal that is regenerating his health. Alright, so you see when you come back here for the second time, there's a fog and these clams get stuck behind it. So just make sure you run back at the very beginning and take out this little crystal back here. It will be here at the beginning every time whenever you die and have to come back. Once you take that out, your next objective, well, it depends on what you want to do. You can either cut off his tail and get the Moonlight Sword. Now, I recommend this sword if you are a magic build because it is the strongest magic scaling weapon, and it has some really cool strong attacks where it damages the sword a little bit. I'll show you that later on. We'll focus more on Seath right now. So what you want to do to get his tail cut off, you have to do about a quarter of his life. You kind of want to just stand in front of him to kind of initiate an attack, and once he starts doing an attack, you just have to sprint behind him. This could be a long, tedious task because he turns faster than you can actually run. So in this case, you want something really light. So wear whatever the best armor is you can wear and keeping it light at the same time. So I would recommend, if this is your first playthrough, just using the gold hem set and maybe using something like Havel's Ring. And if you've already gone to, say, like the big tree, I forget what it's called. If you go there, there's a ring that boosts stamina recovery. That would also be a pretty good ring to use here. But if you don't have that, you could just use the Ring of Favor and Protection, which boosts your stamina load, or your stamina, equipment load, and health, and then use something like Havel's Ring if you don't have enough endurance to give you the gold hem set, which will also give you a high curse resistance, which is the only other issue in this battle, because those little crystals he leaves laying around actually can curse you, and that's really bad. There's only a couple ways to break a curse, and none of them are easy or convenient. Unless you have a purge stone with you, you're going to be screwed. So you just got to kind of keep baiting him into attacks. This is the only hard part of the fight, is trying to get this sword. The actual just killing him is really easy because he doesn't have that many attacks. You just got to avoid those crystals, and whenever you see his tail do any kind of different animation, when you see it lift up in the air, that's time to get out of there and start rolling away quickly, because the tail will do a lot of damage, but it's really easy to get out of the way. It's a slow attack. His other dangerous attack is when he does that laser crystal thing out of his mouth. If you're paying attention, you can just run right past it and not get hit by it. But if you do, you saw a little earlier, I lost like 3/4 of my health, and you see I got hit by the tail, and it did quite a bit of damage to my health. I'm skipping ahead to where I actually cut off the tail, because this can be a long process. Sometimes you can get lucky and do it really quickly, So just use whatever was the maximum amount of damage you can do with a melee weapon. And remember to hit the lower half of his tail, because if you don't, it doesn't count towards the damage in cutting off his tail. Once you actually cut off his tail, this fight becomes way easier. If you're a melee, which I'm not, but I use my sword anyways, just because this is a really simple way of killing him. All you have to do really is just run towards his tails, and he'll keep turning, and you can keep doing damage. Or you see him charge up like that, that's his big area effect attack. But as I said before, if you have a high curse resistance, it's not really going to do much. So just keep sprinting towards his tail and cutting, and for the most part, he won't even hit you. If you're a fire build, you can pretty much just walk up right in front of him and just start casting like the chaos fire combustions and all those, and he really won't do a whole lot. He's just gonna spin a lot, so it may take a while to using this strategy, but it's a really safe, probably the safest way to go about killing Seath. She'll take minimal amounts of damage. If you like to have a quick weapon here, and that works too, you may actually be better off using a quicker weapon just because you won't miss as many attacks whenever he's rotating around. So you see he just keeps spinning and spinning and spinning because he wants you to stay in front of him, but obviously you don't want to just stand there and let him do that. So maybe for the last hit you want to do something fancy, you have your Chaos Storm, like I'm going to stand right in front of him and just pull this one out. That's also a cool option. So that's it, Seath is dead. There's only a couple more bosses left, Bed of Chaos and the Demon Ruins area. So until next time guys, thanks for watching, like and subscribe. Try to get me to 1,000 subs. That would help. Alright, thanks again, guys.